Good evening, America, and welcome to Cross Country. So tonight we're taking a hard look at the state of our education in this nation. The students in our lives are facing unprecedented challenges as this school year begins. We see the consequences of the pandemic in the form of massive learning lapses. We have a youth mental health crisis now deemed a national emergency. But COVID emergency funds approved for education back in 2021 are still sitting unspent. Not to mention, we're in the midst of a nationwide teacher shortage. So we know the struggles, but what about the solution? Well, we brought together a group of 7 educators from across the country to help us navigate these challenges and bridge the gap between parents and teachers. Here's part 1 of that conversation. Watch. Thank you all so much for being with me today. It's so great to have all you beautiful faces. The teachers, you're the backbone of our kids that spend the majority of the time with you guys. So thank y'all so much for dedicating some time to talk with us. You know, there's so much to talk about with education today, but I really want to go back to the decision that you guys made and why. Why did you decide to be an educator? I'll start with you, Elizabeth.
I knew when I was in college that I wanted to help people. I wanted to make a difference in the world, and that was my reason for going into teaching.
Very good. Bridget?
I had a lot of influential teachers in my life when I was young. And when I used to play with my best friend, that's what we used to play. We'd go home from school and we'd play school. So it's kind of been in me since I was young.
Yeah. Ayako, when did you first decide that you were going to be an educator?
I was a little bit late. I decided when I was doing my master's. I found this one incredible teacher, and I realized how much she had an influence on all of us in the classroom. And then I felt like, okay, I want to do this.
These last 2 years have been very hard for the children as well as educators. So tell me, what is the biggest challenge for you as an educator?
The biggest challenge right now, I think, is that we're overwhelmed. You know, prior to the pandemic, reading levels in this country were in the decline, math levels in this country were in the decline. During the pandemic, we lost 2 years in the classroom. And so now teachers, tutors, educators are being charged with making up for lost time in a very truncated period. So they want you to cover 2 years of material in 9 months. It's just not possible. So the job has become very stressful.
Yeah. Judith, does that resonate with you, what Brooke just said?
Very much so. Again, being in the English department, it's now like we call it project graduation. And project graduation is trying to get kids on pace with test scores, SAT, ACT. Florida no longer does the FSA, so we have to find a way to show that these kids have grown despite all the hiccups that have come during the COVID pandemic.
Mary, how bad is it?
Sadly, Lawrence, children look at school and they think this is something that can be taken away from me, like it was in March of 2020. Parents look at school as optional now. We still have chronic absenteeism rates all across the country. Our schools are nowhere near the attendance rates they were pre-COVID. And as Brooke mentioned, teachers are overwhelmed. There is so much pressure on teachers to catch up with curriculum. They are feeling sometimes fearful in the classroom when you look at situations like Uvalde. They're feeling disrespected. There are stories all over the country of teachers who've had verbal abuse, physical abuse from students, from parents. So school, sadly, in our country is no longer looked at as a safe place for children and teachers to go and learn and be together.
So, Christina, is it the general consensus that all the students are behind right now, and that is the biggest problem facing you teachers?
Well, yes and no. I do think that when they came back from the pandemic, my particular state came back very quickly. We came back in the beginning of August 2020, where a lot of the country was still out. Now we came back in a staggered formation, so half of my kids didn't know the other half of the kids until October when they all came back. And yes, the last two years were definitely challenging because I teach first grade, and a lot of my kids came in without any kindergarten base. They were virtual, but kids learn better together. They learn better with their peers. And we know that sticking a screen in front of 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds is not a good plan. So getting them all back together and all learning together. I'm actually happy, even though it was terribly difficult, by the end of last year, my kids were back where they should have been and where they had been historically before the pandemic. So this year, we've already started, because in the South we start in the middle of August, and I have already seen that the kids that attended kindergarten last year are now in my class, and they are where they should be. So it's giving me a little sense of relief, but it's still incredibly difficult.
So, Elizabeth, I want to shift gears for a second, because I think that was a perfect segue. How is what happened the past 2 years impacting this year? I mean, you just started for a lot of schools. What impact does it have? Is it them being behind? Is it the social distancing or awkwardness that the kids aren't used to seeing their classmates again? Is it the safety issue? All of that in combined, how is that impacting this upcoming semester?
Well, like you said, it's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I would say, though, what I've seen, especially in the younger years, I've seen more anxiety in children as young as 5 years old, because there's so much pressure at home with the families, with the pandemic, and maybe they're affected financially, or they couldn't, adjust to what the COVID did to their situation. And I've seen a lot of young children with a lot of anxiety. And I still think we need to put mental health at forefront. That's the most important, because if they are carrying around a burden of worrying about what's going on at home, they're not going to be able to take on any learning.
Do y'all all agree with what she just said right there? Because I saw all the nodding right there. It's a big issue, the mental health with the students.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's tough to talk about this with all of that took place in the pandemic, Brooke. Now there's a shortage of teachers. What is that about? Is it teachers feeling disrespected? Is it the safety again? Or is it they're not being paid sufficiently?
So you raised many good points. So right now we're facing about a 300,000 teacher shortage nationwide coming into classrooms this fall, which is pretty terrifying, because as we know, classrooms in general are already overcrowded. So what are we going to do? Part of this could be related to teacher compensation. There's a radical sort of spread for teacher compensation nationwide. In New York State, an average teacher salary is around $85,000 a year. In Florida, where I live, an average teacher salary is $50,000 a year. Spend per student, New York, an average of $23,000 a year. Spend per student in Florida, about $9,000 per student per year. Having to teach on Zoom as a teacher and being exposed to criticism from parents, being berated by parents because teachers were asked to teach on Zoom. They'd never done that before. And so they were put into a new environment and exposed to families. And I feel like they felt a bit attacked. So that would be, a second factor. As Mary mentioned before, there has obviously been school shootings. That comes to the fore. Teachers may not feel safe. And then, as I said, having to catch students up and having unrealistic expectations set on curriculum and teaching is also another factor. So I think teachers are just saying, this isn't worth it anymore.
Whether it may be safety, not feeling appreciated, have any of you guys considered saying, enough is enough?
I've reached that point several times.
Tell me about that.
Originally, I was working in Orange County. There is a mental exhaustion. There is a physical exhaustion. There is constant berating. I myself have had so much stress and so much overwhelming happenings that I've actually gotten so physically sick. I had 2 surgeries working in one county. Doctor's orders demanding that I stay home. While I'm at home, they're still making me work. That's on doctor leave. That was so disheartening that I actually considered leaving. I got lucky finding Seminole County, and I got even luckier being in a school where there is not just a support system in the administration, but the community with the parents and the fellow teachers. Everybody kind of banded together. And even during the pandemic, we were very lucky that we were able to kind of make it work.
Mary, when you hear Judith talk like that and talk about the experience, now you're in a position of leadership now. Do you hear that same theme all the time?
Lawrence, 100%. Listening to Brooke and Judith, leadership is key. I ran a school for the better part of 2 decades. you take care of your teachers. They are the ones who are literally on the front lines with the children day in and day out. Their happiness will make huge gains with the children, with the parents. You have a great teacher, you take care of that person. You work together. You problem solve together. Leadership, leadership, leadership.
So you just heard it from them. It's leadership. That's what it really comes down to. And until our nation's leaders step up, the future of our country remains at risk.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.